With two quarter-finals down, we watch two more this afternoon as the 2020 runners-up England take on a Swiss side who got to their first Euros quarter-final in 2020. Later we will watch the 1988 champions Netherlands against the passionate and positive Turkey, who are looking to replicate their heroics of 2008 when they reached the semi-final. With the host Germany and 2016 champions Portugal now out after a last gasp winner from Mikel Merino for Spain, and a penalty shootout retribution from France sees La Roja and Les Bleus face each other in the last four. The winner of today's two matches will be the other match-up for the semi-final, the game of which will be played next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And remember, LFS will have live watch-along commentary of all the remaining games of the Euros, including both semi-finals and of course the live final next Sunday. First this afternoon, we watch England taking on Switzerland with some interesting team news to tell. That's next. Good afternoon and welcome to Euro 2024 Live for our final two quarter-finals of the Euros. Yesterday we watched Spain in extra time beat the hosts Germany to progress to the semis, and France needed penalties to get past Portugal in a pretty lacklustre 120 minutes, but a very dramatic penalty shootout, France converting all 5 of their penalties to progress. Those two will meet in the semi-final, and the winner of today's two games, they will meet in the semis. Let's have a look at the team news then for this one, and we start with England, who have changed their system. Started all 4 previous games with a back 4, but it looks like they've gone to a back 3/back 5 for this one. And interesting news to tell you. Jordan Pickford continues in goal, and a back 3/back 5 for England. Kieran Trippier a right wing back. The 3 centre-backs of Kyle Walker, John Stones and Ezri Konsa, who comes in for the suspended Mark Guehi after yellow card accumulation. Bukayo Saka out on left wing-back with Kobbie Mainoo and Declan Rice in midfield. Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden in the 10s, with Harry Kane leading the line and captaining England. The bench remains the same, 14 players on the bench for England. Mark Guehi the only one not on the bench due to suspension. For Switzerland, Jan Sommer continues in goal. They continue with their back 3/back 5 system that they are so well organised at. They've got the back 5 of Fabian Rieder at right wing back. There's 3 centre-backs unchanged from the start of the tournament. Fabian Schär, Manuel Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez continues, with Michael Abischer as left wing back. Granit Xhaka and Remo Freuler continue in midfield, with Xhaka captaining the side, with that unchanged front 3 from Switzerland after their 2-0 win against Italy in the round of 16. Dan Ndoye, Ruben Vargas and Breel Mbolo starting up front. It's England against Switzerland. A place in the last 4 awaits. Will it be the 3 Lions, or will it be the Swiss dark horse? Kick-off is next. Good afternoon and welcome to Euro 2024 Live for this first commentary of the day as we watch England take on Switzerland. England, who by their own national media haven't been anywhere near their best, and it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. But Switzerland have been quite the opposite, very impressive to this point, and if they progress, they will get to their very first ever international tournament semi-final. But England stand in their way, and so far an English side who, probably the only main positive, has been their defence. But other than that, England struggling further up the field, like a lot of teams are, to be honest, in the tournament. Not many are free-flowing in front of goal. When it gets to this point, you have to be clinical and you have to take your chances, because this is knockout football and the pressure is most certainly on at this level. England in their normal home strip, the white shirt and blue shorts, and Switzerland in their normal strip of red shirts and the kind of maroon shorts for Switzerland. And quite a decent matchup, this one, of course. Coming into this one, I mean, Switzerland probably the better form side, although England did progress through extra time. Switzerland beat the holders Italy in normal time. Of course, Italy who beat England at the Euro 2020 final. Wouldn't read too much into that, to be honest. Gareth Southgate making his 100th game in charge of England. Became the England head coach back in 2016, and only one England manager in history has a better win percentage than Gareth Southgate. It's Ralph Ramsey. Gareth Southgate guiding England to another quarter-final. That's where, in previous tournaments, their competition has ended, especially the most recent international tournament where England went out at the quarter-final stage against France at the World Cup, when France beat them 2-1. Harry Kane missed a penalty in that one as well. It's a good start for Switzerland. They had a good start against Italy. Did Switzerland. They dominated that Italian team, made it look really simple, really easy. Italy were no contest for them whatsoever. That's a good press there from Jude Bellingham on Fabian Schär. We'll go out for a Swiss throw-in though. That's been one of the criticisms of England as well during this tournament, is their lack of high pressing, and when they do press, they press as individuals, so it's not accurate, it's not working, and the team, their opponent, can easily break out of that press. And Doy looked to switch it across to Abisher, but the ball bounced awkwardly there for Switzerland and gives England the throw. Rice. Bellingham. Back to Declan Rice. And squeeze it through the lines. Finds Phil Foden. Out to the right it comes to Saka. He's playing on the right. Initially the thoughts were he would be playing at left wing back, but he's on that right flank for the moment, Bukayo Saka. There he is again. Gets the ball from Mainu. Now Saka. Switzerland get lots of bodies in and around the box, and England not able to find a way through just yet. Rice has to find Foden. Now Walker. Saka. Looking to drive in. Look at the lifted to the back post, but that cross just a bit much. And Kieran Trippier, who's continued on the left-hand side, so let's see what England are attempting here. It'll be closely watched, and something I'm sure the Swiss head coach Murat Yakin is keeping a very close eye on, laser focused on what England are doing and what they're trying to do to counter his team. Oh, look at the space there in the middle for Mbolo to drop into, and spreads it wide now for Abisher on the left hand side. Completely drops Walker, plays the ball through into the box, and well closed down by Ezri Konsa. But Remo Freuler had made that late run, similar to the goal that Switzerland scored against Italy. Remo Freuler making those late runs into the box, and Konsa did well to block the flick. Freuler tried to pass to one of his teammates, and Well defended by England, but a good move by Switzerland in the midfield. As England ultimately have the throw in here. Walker. A pass back from Mainu, a bit awkward, but Walker will get the throw in once more off Ruben Vargas. All the way back it comes to Stones. Under pressure from Mbolo, as Walker has to squeeze it back to Jordan Pickford. He will go short. Right to the left-hand side to find Konsa. It's interesting, Esri Konsa didn't play on the left of defence at any point last season for Aston Villa, or left back at any point in a back four, but he's not playing in a back four. So it's interesting to see him over on that side of the pitch. Usually a right back or a right centre back is Esri Konsa. At the moment, it looks like Kieran Trippier is the left wing back, Saka the right wing back, and they are still playing that back three. Konsa right, left centre back, John Stones in the middle, and Walker as the right centre back, and then a kind of a box midfield for England. 2 and then 2, with Mainu and Rice the deeper of the two, and Foden and Bellingham the higher up, with Harry Kane leading the line. So it's similar to what was expected. It's just Trippier's continued on the left flank, and Saka on the right. Here is Bukayo Saka. Just about tried to take it down. Does chest it down. Cuts it back to Walker, who will whip across in. And the clearance there by Akanji, but the flag was up anyway against England there. We'll just see it again. Saka maybe just stepping offside. He does when that ball comes through. It's a nice ball forward, but Saka just stepping offside. The flag took a long time to come though, which will be to the disappointment of some. Some really hate that late offside flag call, where they're told to delay the officials. Speaking of the officials, Daniele Orsato of Italy is our referee this afternoon here in Dusseldorf in the Merkur-Spiel Arena. There's Granit Xhaka to Rodriguez, chipping it forward. Vargas ready to pick up the second ball as England clear it away, but brought down now by Aebischer. Freuler to Xhaka. Confident on the ball, Switzerland, as the ball comes out to the right hand side now for Dan and Doy. And Doy looking to break past his man, and Trippier cuts it into the box, and Kobbie Mainoo there recovering, has to hook it away for the Swiss throw. It's a good break down the right hand side by Dan and Doy. Burst past Kieran Trippier. Was no real threat in terms of Kieran Trippier defending him there. Easily breezed past him and got a nice ball squared into the box, but luckily for England, Kobbie Mainoo was recovering just in time to clear it. Of course, Switzerland have been blessed with quite a few impressive players in the tournament so far. Dan and Doy, one of them. Certainly one of them, and I was very impressed with his performance against Italy. That ability to just take the ball under control and know exactly where it needs to go and what needs to happen next. It's like he's a step or two ahead of everyone else on the pitch. It's a trait that's instincts. Long ball forward by Cher. Lovely brought down by Ruben Vargas. Similar on that left flank as he crosses it in. And Doy tried to clear, or tried to get on the end of it. Cleared by Konsa, but not far as Freuler picks it up. Reader with a cross. Away by Stones. But still not away by England as Switzerland keep the pressure on. And England holding on at the minute. Xhaka. Ricardo Rodriguez. Now Aebischer. Back to Xhaka. And Rodriguez out wide to Vargas. Look at the space on that right hand side for Fabian Reeder. Or sorry, Dan and Doy out there. Let's see, is Xhaka taking his time on the ball, not in a hurry to move it. He now will give it to Akanji. Now across to Cher. So he'll take the step up the right hand side. Reeder and Doy. Now Freuler. Fluid movement here from the Swiss as Braylon Bolo gets into the box. Good challenge initially, but Mbolo will not get anything but a goal kick for England there. Tried to have a second swipe at it, try and get a corner, but ultimately got nothing out of it. And very tight that against Johnstone's. Might have been just a whisker onside there, Braylon Bolo. Maybe a bit of luck going in his favour. That was a great recovery from Declan Rice initially. Bolo got the brick of the ball, but ultimately went out for a goal kick. A bit of a panicking scramble there from Switzerland. As Foden does well to stride it back into Kieran Trippier's path. Rice. Mainu now. Across to Walker. Very narrow. The Swiss midfield. Very narrow. Out of possession. Here's Saka. Now Walker again. England are pushing higher up the field. Can't see it. They are. It's only one player. All the outfield players in the half, and only one of them inside the kind of the width of the centre circle. They are trying to push higher up. It's England passing it around at the back here with Ezri Konsa. Stones. To Konsa. Bellingham was making a run there, but no one decided to take that option. Trippier. Harry Kane's come a bit deeper, dropping deeper, but Bellingham swapped out to play a bit higher for the moment. Still at the back here for England. Konsa, and every time they make a pass, they just drop a couple of yards deeper. Switzerland press out. It comes all the way back to Pickford, who will knock it long up the field. That's a really nice ball. Taken down well by Bellingham. Out wide to Trippier. Now Harry Kane. We'll look to switch it out to Saka. Nicely taken down by the Arsenal winger. And he's got the brick of the ball past his defender. Walker. Saka. Again, Switzerland getting back into shape. England again try and find a way through. Trippier. Foden. Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo squeezes it into the gap for Bellingham. Had to twist his way around and try to play it forward to Trippier. But again, Switzerland comfortable in their clearance, although not convincing. As Rice picks it back up for England. Ultimately a 5-4-1 out of possession at the moment, Switzerland. Saka skips past Ibashir, gets the ball in. Flick back by Trippier and Rice. There's took a deflection, that shot. And it goes out for an England throw. It's better pressure from England. Better football as well. Moving it from side to side, moving it, getting it into the box as well. Nice delivery by Saka. Trippier headed it back to the edge of the box, and Rice decided to have a strike that was deflected and then ultimately cleared for a throw-in. Walker to take this throw now. Back it comes to Foden. Look to switch it all the way across to Konsa. Turn back on himself and go back to Jordan Pickford. Again, England maybe not building upon that good moment. It's all about sustaining pressure. Having a good little moment is all well and good, but when you're in the ascendancy, you have to try and take advantage. Here's Foden. Going to switch it out to Trippier. Lovely ball out to Kieran Trippier. Plays it quickly into Kane's path, but the flag goes up against Kieran Trippier in an offside position there. See it again. Shouldn't be offside from that position. He can see the centre backs in front of him. Looks down along that defensive line of Switzerland. They can see he's offside. Just under 15 minutes gone then in Dusseldorf. And it is England 0, Switzerland 0. Both sides have had their mini spells of possession and control. Not much damage to either defence so far. None on the scoreline anyway. Rodriguez. Akanji. Of course, Switzerland have performed massively well at knockout football in Euros before. I'll get to that point in a moment. As Bellingham now, Harry Kane cuts it back. Strike from Menu. Blocked by Rodriguez. Back out it comes. Rice and Kane involved. Kane goes for the challenge. And he goes to grind, but the referee sees no problem with that. The former North London opponents and Harry Kane and Granit Xhaka there, both having an argument. They're both captains. It was Cher that was involved. I mean, I don't think that's a penalty. I mean, he does get the touch on the ball, Harry Kane, but I don't feel that's enough for a penalty. He doesn't make clean contact with Harry Kane, the defender there. A bit of a lazy pass from Akanji initially, and that's how England got into that area. Harry Kane did get on the ball, and Kobbie Mainoo had that strike, but that was not a penalty. And VAR have confirmed that decision from Daniele Orsato. I think it would have been a bit harsh if the penalty was given. Looked a bit weak to me. And let's see. Pickford. And we'll go long now. And a target Harry Kane. He felt it was held there, but the referee letting things go. Xhaka. Cher. All the way back to Jan Sommer. It's instantly under pressure from Bellingham. Lays it out to Fabian Cher. Kicks it forward to Mbolo. Bit of a heavy touch by Brel Mbolo. Well gathered by Kobbie Mainoo, who's breaking forward. But again, just got away from him as he entered the box, Kobbie Mainoo. And Jan Sommer could collect, but certain promise from the England midfield. Especially Kobbie Mainoo so far. Who probably was one of England's best options in midfield in terms of deputising alongside Declan Rice. Had an incredible season at Manchester United, one of their best performers of the season, the 19-year-old. Certainly one of the top performers, top performing young players in the Premier League last season, without a shadow of a doubt. As Switzerland get the free kick here. The referee just telling everybody to calm down. Freuler to Xhaka. Right, it comes to Ricardo Rodriguez. Now forward to Freuler. Made that little run forward. Finds Mbolo. Back with Freuler, who just couldn't reach it in the box as Walker defends him well, but he's battling back and ultimately gives away the free kick there, Remo Freuler. Good defending by Walker. Ultimately got there ahead of him, but won the free kick. But we see it again. It's a dangerous ball by Switzerland again. That little run from Freuler into that little space in the midfield, linking up the defence and the attack well. Go for the 1-2 with Brel Mbolo and almost coming off once again. So Pickford goes long with a free kick. Chested down in midfield by Bellingham, who can gather the ball and stride forward. Gives it down to Saka on the right flank. Crowded out there, Saka, as Vargas on the cover wins it back. It's a great recovery run by Ruben Vargas, of course, out in the left wing, but tracks back well. And Bolo in a challenge, throwing himself everywhere there, but Stones won that header. Walker to Phil Foden. Out wide to Kobbie Mainoo. Not going to make a run down the right wing. Comes back infield to Walker. Foden. Rice. Phil Foden looking for options. He's got a sea of red ahead of him. Rice has to go out to the left-hand side to Konza. Again, maybe a bit slow in their decision-making, England. They're going to find a way through. They need to play it quick. Switzerland on the same token. Both sides need to play it quick. Upping the tempo, upping the pace will find you more gaps and spaces, but when it's easy for the opposition to just shuffle across and keep their shape, it's hard to break out of. That's a lovely ball in behind though from Foden, and Saka across, and there was no one in the middle other than Fabian Schär to boot it clear. It's a lovely pass by Phil Foden. Saka making the run, and it's very tight for an offside, but he's maybe just on Saka. The flag stayed down. That's cleared away by Schär, but again, nice idea by Foden. Lovely delivery. That's what they haven't been getting out of Bukayo Saka as of yet in previous games, is those runs in behind. He's got that pace, that bursting energy to get behind defences. It's a nice ball by Foden. Trippier to take this corner then for England. Right hand side. Right footed delivery. To the back post. Up for Kane, but headed it right back the way it came and as far wide as the edge of the 18-yard box. Goal kick. Just over 20 minutes gone. Still goalless. Well, here's Phil Foden. Nice ball arrowed into Bellingham's path. Bellingham in the box. Looking to cut it back. Again, Xhaka the first one to react and clear it away. And now Mbolo looking to gather forward, but he got held all the way there. Went down a bit easily according to the referee anyway. It was Ezri Konsa that was involved. As now Mbolo gets a bit frustrated. They're not getting that free kick. And gives away one himself to Jude Bellingham. And Daniele Ersato just trying to calm Mbolo down a bit. Slight bit of frustration from the Swiss centre forward. Yeah, just an unnecessary late kind of lunge at Jude Bellingham there. There's not much in that challenge a bit earlier on from Ezri Konsa. Don't understand what Mbolo was getting frustrated at. So, free kick for England then. Foden and Trippier, I believe's over it. Can't see with the sun at the minute. Foden takes it, left-footed delivery all the way through the box. Saka tries to keep it in. It's back into the mix, but Jan Sommer gathers. And it had gone behind anyway. Goal kick. Saka did try and keep it in, but just had crossed the byline before he could whip it back in. And that was why Switzerland got that goal kick. Oh, a bit dangerous at the back there from Akanji. And that will engage the press from England as Akanji will go long this time. Headed by Walker, not convincing, but he does just enough to keep England in possession. As it comes back to John Stones. Seen much of an attacking display from Switzerland massively in the game so far. England having the more of the shots so far, edging that idea. England certainly getting a bit more joy in the final third than Switzerland at this moment in time. It only takes one moment, and here it could be Reader now to Braylen Mbolo, and Mbolo had the shot, well blocked again. Konsa in the way, but well won back by Freuler. Xhaka. Rodriguez. Very narrow, crowded out there was Rodriguez. Now finds Xhaka. Wide it goes to Aebischer. Xhaka through to Mbolo, dropping a bit off again. Vargas tries to play it round the defence, and Stones got there just ahead of Fabian Reeder. A nice run in behind again. that little gap where Mbolo drops into and feeds the wider players. It's worked again, almost, for Switzerland. Similarly, like I said against Italy, if you were watching that commentary, I said if it just clicks for Switzerland, they've got the threat. You can see what they're trying to do, it's just not clicking in the moments, but when it does click, it could be really massively threatening to England. As Kobbie Mainoo gets shoved off the ball by Granit Xhaka. Will be a free kick to England. Here comes crushing through Mainoo there. See England having to make a few last-ditch challenges, one or two, putting their bodies on the line earlier in the game. Still without a shot on target in the match, though, from the shots that we've already seen. So now their goalkeeper massively tested in this moment. As we surpass the 26 minutes, still goalless here in Dusseldorf. Goalless in the first halves of both of our previous quarterfinals. England get the throw in there on the left hand side. Freuler not particularly happy with that decision. Switzerland maybe a bit frustrated in these early moments at some of the decisions not going their way. Could be a distraction that might be unnecessary and unneeded for them in this moment. Kieran Trippier. Bellingham. To Rice. Again. Get into the midfield, but not able to break through. Here's Foden. Alongside Rice now. Squares it across. Switzerland shuffling in shape well. Walker tries to go over the top, does hook it over the top, nicely taken down by Saka, who spins his man. Saka steps away, the cutback has to be booted clear by Akanji. That was much better from Saka. Great ball from Walker over the top, and Saka the threat. Saka's been England's main threat so far. It's been everywhere for them down that right hand side. Everything good from England so far has come from Bukayo Saka. He spun Michel Avisher there very well. Got to the byline, look over the cutback. Akanji was anticipating and did clear his lines. But again, threat from the wide areas from England, and especially Bukayo Saka involved. Rodriguez up the field. Assistant on that side saying the ball was out of play when he kicked it forward there, Rodriguez. So throw into England. Hit again. No, just in. I think that ball was just in. It was on the line. Assistant. Assistant ruling it out. Well, England get the throw in. Ball over the top. Bellingham made that run. Shared ahead of clear. Followed up by Xhaka, but England retrieved possession again. Walker. Saka down the right. Kobbie Mainoo across to Foden. Foden now to Bellingham. Better fluidity from England. Bellingham. Body's in the box. Looking to lift it. It took a deflection. It will be another England corner. Xhaka that had to block that one behind. It's the pressure that Switzerland are feeling to kind of break at this moment. That's better from England. Much more pressure, much more kind of suffocating of the Swiss defence at this moment. Not able to break out, not able to kind of stop the pressure. Daniele Orsato, the referee, just sorting one or two things out in the box. Trippier to take this corner for England then. Takes it short to Saka. Saka across to Mainoo. Go all the way across the back. Foden. Switzerland will now press out. And it's got all the way back to Jordan Pickford from that corner. Indecision again, letting England down. A slow movement. And Trippier off the ball by Reader, but fairly according to the referee, as Xhaka now plays it across to Freuler. You get that. I hate that. I despise. There's nothing that more I hate in football than having a corner and ending up all the way back with your goalkeeper. I mean, how does that even happen? If you don't think you're going to have the advantage in the short corner, take a whip a ball in. It's always a threat. I'd say that to any side. I'm not a big fan of short corners unless it's well choreographed, because they don't work. Rodriguez. Abisher. Xhaka through the lines quickly. Back it comes to Rodriguez. Abisher across to Akanji. Switzerland now their chance to press up the field. Share now. In between the lines to Mbolo. Lays it off. Trying to find Reader. Well cleared away by Kobbie Mainoo. Back with Akanji, who goes back to Jan Sommer. Well, England may have a good omen against Switzerland. They've lost just one of their last 24 meetings against Switzerland in all competitions. They've won 17 of those 24 games, drawn 6, and are unbeaten in 13 since a 2-1 loss in the World Cup qualifier back in May 1981. Switzerland, there's only a threat in there from the wide areas as that cross blocked away from Reader. And Bellingham trying to carry England up the field as Schär gets in his way. And it will be a free kick and a yellow card for Fabian Schär, as he got right in the way of Bellingham there. And there's a difference between trying to block and completely stepping into the path of another player, committing that foul. Stopped a promising attack there. As Fabian Schär gets the yellow card, and England get the free kick. Again, that free kick comes to nothing. Set piece again, letting England down, and that's a lovely turn by Kobbie Mainoo though into space. And he's got the break on. Mainoo, wide it comes to Trippier, body's in the box, gets the cross and took a deflection. We're calling for handball there, England. The referee says no as they keep coming forward. So now Switzerland try and block them, and Xhaka gets the free kick. Free kick now for Switzerland, but I have to see this again. Trippier with a cross. Freuler was the one in the way. I mean, it does come off his hand, to be fair. I mean, that does look like... I mean, it's... Well, it's deliberate or not, but it's handball. The referee didn't see it as that. And Gareth Southgate making that known to the fourth official about that decision. The referee not seeing it, and of course VAR can't have their say because the handball was outside the box, and it would only be a yellow card offence anyway if a deliberate handball outside the box. So not much VAR could do about that if the referee didn't see anything wrong with it. But for me, it looked like clear handball. Here's Manuel Akanji. Space to run forward. Not anybody in his way at this moment. Akanji darts it down the right hand side, and the cross comes in, but that one ballooned by Fabian Schär all the way behind. Was never going to threaten anyone, but a fan in the stands behind that goal, really. VAR, by the way, is Massimiliano Irazzi from Italy, and all its Italian refereeing team. The referee, the assistants, and the VAR. The fourth official is Daniel Siebert of Germany. Might get an earful from either one of the coaches or both of the coaches today, Daniel Siebert, so certainly brought his earbuds. Rodriguez to take this throw in for Switzerland. Just about 10 minutes to go with the first half, and not really much goal-mouth action to talk about, to be honest. One thing to talk about for England is Bukayo Saka's been their biggest threat so far. Switzerland, Braylen Bolo, that dropping deep and spraying it to wide players or other players, kind of anchoring the attack is Braylen Bolo, but from a deeper role, which is interesting. And those little deflections are what's maybe taking the threat out of this game. Braylen Bolo was involved there, but England pick up the ball. That's lovely from Bellingham. Now sprays it out to Saka on the right hand side. Look for the cross back to Bellingham, but it maybe, I don't know if Bellingham wanted to hit that or not, or whether he left it, but it didn't hit him, didn't touch it, and it goes all the way through to Jan Sommer. See it again. That was a wonderful solo run. Great spin away from the man and dragged it past Freuler wonderfully. I mean, that's what Jude Bellingham's at his best. When he can carry the ball, can run with the ball, can weave his way through defenders and midfielders and opponents, carrying you up the field, quite literally. That's when he's at his best. Xhaka. Fabian Schär again. Xhaka. As England, supported by their fans who sing on in the stands. So Bolo just slipped there as the ball was played into him. And England recover, but the press intense from Switzerland. Walker under pressure. Tried to get the throw in. Ultimately gives away the throw in with that long kick. That was a good consistent press from Switzerland there. Closing out the gaps, not allowing Kyle Walker any options to pass it off, and suffocated England into giving away the throw in. Akanji through the lines and a play it forward to Mbolo, who lost out on the ball. Foden had the last touch. Will get Switzerland the throw on the left hand side as Murat Yakin, the head coach of Switzerland, instructs two of his players about what they need to be doing. Let's keep them on their toes. Rodriguez looking up there, but Rodriguez couldn't keep the possession as Foden intercepts. Although not a great pass by Foden. As Switzerland recover now, and Bolo, space to run. Plays it across to Freuler. He's got space on that right hand side, Remo Freuler. Links it up with Dan and Doy. With a tick on his man, and Doy, and didn't have Rice to take on there, and Dan and Doy, heavy touch, goes behind for a goal kick. Not seen much of Dan and Doy since that early run. The right hand side's been well marshalled by England. Not seen much of it from a Swiss point of view. As I said, since that early run from Ndoye, got the cross in, but kind of doubled up on him down that side with Declan Rice stepping in, as we saw there. Pickford to go long once again. Target Kane. Kane did get a touch to it, but Switzerland again will recycle the ball. I'm interested to see why they've gone long on those moments, England. They've gone long quite a lot in the tournament so far, but I've not really seen them win very much of them or do anything with them. I mean, usually when you go long ball from your goalkeeper, especially nowadays, when we see lots of teams wanting to play it from the back and tiki-taka football in between the lines and kind of building from the back. But when you go long ball, you have to have an idea of what you want to do. It looks like England are just pinging it long to get it away from their own goal. Looks like there's no real idea when they do go long. Not many options. Bit baffling that at this moment, as it's back with Jordan Pickford again. He will now go short to Ezri Konsa. And find the space to Declan Rice, although he overstepped it. Almost got caught out there, Declan Rice. Almost got his legs on... didn't get his legs under control there. Got a bit muddled. Walker, Rice, England playing about in midfield again. Maybe a bit panicky there from England for a moment or two. Trippier's dropping very deep here for a back three. He's almost playing as a normal left back, which is interesting. I would call it strange and weird and unnecessary, but interesting may be the right word. Who knows? Pickford, they're almost on their own goal line here, England. Konsa goes long. Again, not an option. Rice does pick up the second ball. Now Bellingham. Back to Trippier. All the way back to Konsa again. Kobbie Mainoo. Walker. Comes out on the left-hand side for Bellingham now. Bellingham coming central. Crowded area at the moment. Lots of players very narrow. And in the centre, Switzerland have found that balance well between being narrow but also getting out to the wide players of England. Here's Trippier. A lot further up now than he was a moment or two ago. Rice. Stones. And out wide it comes to Bukayo Saka. Mainoo. Walker. It's a nice in between the lines from Saka. Again trying to switch it up. I mean, at the moment, Bukayo Saka is the only player in the game. Never mind either team. The only player in the game that's got really any invention. Trying to change things. Trying to move. Real lack of movement overall in the game. Very rigid, which creates quite a dull game. Ultimately, on top of that, need a bit of movement, a bit of switching up a position. Forward to Walker. Again, just wants to go backwards. Foden. Rice. Konsa down the left to Trippier. Again, first instinct is to go back, not to run forward. Foden to Konsa. Foden. Rice. Bellingham. Bellingham. Across the Stones. Walker. Again. Back it comes. Stones tries to find Saka on the right. Again, Saka. There's nowhere to run to. Comes back infield to Foden. Rice. I mean, calm possession from England, and they're in control of the possession, but Switzerland are quite comfortable against them at this minute in time. Here's Saka, though. Wants to try and switch up the positions, and Saka trying to go around the outside, and got the ball back to Kobbie Mainoo. And Xhaka again in there to put the block in. Again, back to my point, Saka's the only one trying to move. And it comes to Saka. He's the biggest threat of the game so far. He gets round the outside of Abisher again. He cuts it back just to Kobbie Mainoo, who tries to strike, and Xhaka's in the way to put it behind for the English corner. Foden will take this corner, right hand side. A lot of height in there for England. Can Foden find the head of one of his teammates? Left-footed delivery. Straight into the hands of Jan Sommer. Untested once again. Switzerland try and break forward here in Doy. On the verge of 45. Dan and Doy trying to feed it through the lines. Reader made the run. And he got a bit frustrated there. Ruben Vargas just shoved over his man in his own box. There. And England get the free kick out of that one. And that's the half-time whistle. Not often. Caught us all out there. The half-time whistle. And no added time at the end of the first half, which unusual in this day and age. But there we are. Half-time it is. And there's not a single thing to tell you other than probably Bukayo Saka's been the most threatening player. Half-time in Dusseldorf. It is unchanged from the very first minute. England 0, Switzerland 0. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Half-time in another one of our quarterfinals. And once again, it is 0-0 at the break between England and Switzerland, as our previous two quarterfinals have been. And again, no shots on target in that first half. Both sides having half-decent, if that, attempts or moments in the game. And in the one player that I can talk about for a long time, especially in this this half-time analysis, is Bukayo Saka. You know, for at the start of the tournament against Serbia, he was the one that was the most threatening for England. He was getting on the ball down the right-hand side. He was the one that was opening up the defence, that was causing problems. And again, we see it, yes, in a different system, in a right wing-back role, but again, getting forward, getting into those positions and making the difference, getting England into those good positions in and around the box where they can threaten. And Bukayo Saka certainly delivering that at this moment in time. But I would say, and I wouldn't massively say that England have been majorly improved, but it looks better on the eye in terms of the way they know they need to play. I did say in that first half they have pushed up a bit more. You can see that the centre-backs are pushing up. They're all trying to push and keep compact when they're in possession, when they're in control of the game. Maybe the fact that that's kind of, at some point, it's seen Switzerland kind of easily just shuffle across time and time again. Maybe that can be improved, just to increase the pace of the game a bit, move the ball a bit faster. Sometimes the indecision is just allowing Switzerland to just stay deep and stay in control of the ball out of possession in terms of just shuffling across and closing the gaps. But I said one player that is breaking through, that is finding those little kind of spaces where he can exploit the defence, is Bukayo Saka. Those runs in behind, those kind of little bursts to the byline, getting around players, being physical, holding off defenders, and winning those little battles is where England are getting that slight advantage on the right-hand side especially. Not seen much from the left-hand side as much, but it's probably more that Jude Bellingham has been in that role on the left-hand side, carrying the ball a bit further forward. Again, Kieran Trippier looks a bit lost on that left-hand side. Again, we were anticipating that Bukayo Saka would play off the left and Trippier on the right. Usually a right-sided player, but again, it looks a bit strange from an England point of view why he's continuing on the left-hand side. I get that he's done a decent job, as best as probably what he can do. But again, I'm still confused as to why that's the case. But we'll see what change can be made. I mean, they do have other options. Not many, but other options possibly there. I mean, Luke Shaw is on the bench. He hasn't played a minute yet, but maybe Joe Gomez? I mean, that's an idea. I have no idea if that would work, but we'll see. Or similarly, with Saka on the other side, maybe go for a winger in the left wing-back role. I don't know whether that could work, but it might be better to offer balance of threat from both sides, because Phil Foden's come a lot more central, which has improved for him. You know, we've talked about Phil Foden being isolated on that left-hand side. It's not helped him whatsoever, because that's not where he wants the ball. He doesn't want the ball wide. He wants it central. He wants to get the ball and be involved in the middle, creating play. Almost as a kind of a deeper playmaker at times in that first half, with him and Kobbie Mainoo interchanging in that kind of box midfield at times. Rice staying deeper and Bellingham, of course, on the left-hand side, getting the ball, carrying the ball, riding through challenges, driving up the field. We've seen it multiple times, and they look better balanced in midfield, England. I think Rice, Mainoo, Foden, Bellingham, they all know their roles. They're all sticking to their roles, and they seem quite comfortable in that at the moment. But the one thing I would say about England, maybe just that left-hand side, is still struggling a bit. And I would still say that having Kieran Trippier, again, not blaming him, because he's not a left-sided player, but maybe you could follow the same system that you have with Saka on the right as a right winger, as a right wing back, and getting forward on that side. Maybe you could use that for your left-handed sided player with a left winger, the likes of maybe an Anthony Gordon or etc, etc. We will see. But at the moment, England do look better balanced. The back threes looked decent. I mean, Kyle Walker, John Stones and Ezri Konsa, they're comfortable, they look controlled. They haven't really been tested much, but when they have, either those little balls in behind, John Stones got there quickly, Walker's defended well, Konsa's got into little battles well. I think the back three have looked strong from England. So ultimately, it's not a bad performance in the first half. It's improved on where they've been. It's better. It's much more kind of controlled, but also they have a better understanding of what they need to do and how they need to do it. At the moment, maybe just a bit slow and slightly imbalanced on the left, I would say, are the two things that I would mention. But other than that, I think England have been okay in that first half. Switzerland, I wouldn't say I've been disappointed with them, but it's mainly not. We've not seen them having the same impact as they did against Italy. In that first half, they weren't allowed to kind of have it all their own way, and that's credit to England, of course, with their pressing. That's worked a bit better in the game. But Switzerland, their midfield, not really shown up much. Xhaka and Freuler maybe made one or two darting runs forward, but not much clicking in the final third for Switzerland. We've not seen much of either. Not seen much of Vargas or Ndoye on the right-hand side. Reeder's got involved, maybe a better bit, but not from the wide areas. We haven't seen Switzerland in the wide areas very much so far. We've seen Mbolo coming deeper, linking up with the midfield, but not really seen much with the width of Switzerland, which is where they're at their best, where they can get forward, where they can threaten defences. And that could come down to the fact that England have changed their system and Switzerland are playing against a kind of opposite number of themselves, the other way around, that 3-4-3 or the 3-4-2-1 in a sense. And we'll see how they kind of change that for the second half. But not been massively impressed by Switzerland in that first half at all, really. Much more impressed with England, but still both sides lacking in the final third at this moment. And that's why we see ourselves 0-0 at half-time. At this moment in time, let's just run you through the stats from that first half then, while we're here talking about it. England slightly more possession than Switzerland in that first half, 55% of Switzerland's 45%, so not massive control of possession, but when they get it forward, they look more comfortable, England, with the ball. 5 shots for England, Switzerland 2 shots, but none of the 7 shots combined in the game on target. 3 corners for England, Switzerland without a corner in the game so far. Passes, England with around 50 more passes, both in the 200s mark on that front. England certainly threatening Switzerland in the box a lot more. 15 touches for England in Switzerland's 18-yard box. 9 touches for Switzerland in England's penalty area at this moment in time. At half-time, England, decent accuracy in the final third. I mean, both sides have been pretty accurate in the final third, but England entering the final third and being more accurate in the final third a lot more. 26 final third entries for England, 24 for Switzerland, so not much difference there. But in terms of the final third phases, they're passing in the final third, a lot more accuracy from England, 90% passing accuracy. But again, we just need that bit more pace, that bit more energy about the game, and that'll open up the defences a bit more. But so far, both sides defending well, and it's a similar thing we've seen the whole way through the tournament. Defensive strength is what we've seen from all the teams so far. And maybe just a bit of energy in the final third needed at this moment in time. Right, the second half is on the way very shortly. Where it is England 0, Switzerland 0, and we have another game coming up for you a bit later on. The Netherlands taking on Turkey at 8 o'clock in our final quarter-final. Of course, Spain and France, our first semi-final confirmed, and the winner of our 2 games today will face each other in the other semi-final, which we'll have both live on LFS. A quick update from the Copa America. While I did one of those games yesterday, I updated you on the Argentina result. Overnight, Venezuela played Canada in one of the other quarter-finals in the Copa America, and Canada emerging victorious on penalties again. A 1-1 draw in the 90 minutes, but Canada emerging victorious 4-3 after 5 penalties apiece, with Ismail Kone scoring the winning penalty for Canada. So they will be into the semi-finals, and they will face Argentina in the semis, Canada. Right, second half from Dusseldorf on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Second half in Dusseldorf in the Merkur-Spiel Arena between England and Switzerland, where it is 0-0 at the moment, is on the way next. Let's have a quick look at the tournament bracket then. Let's just remind you of what the circumstances are while we're in this position and while we're at these stages. So all started at the round of 16, Spain beating Georgia, Germany got past Denmark, Portugal got past Slovenia, and France beating Belgium. On the right-hand side, Netherlands beat Romania, Turkey got past Austria, England victorious over Slovakia in extra time, and Switzerland beating the holders, Italy. Then that brought us to the quarterfinals, which we've seen 2 so far, and we've got our first semi-final on that left-hand side of the draw. Spain beating Germany in extra time yesterday, with actually Spain taking the lead in that game in normal time through the goal from Dani Olmo. Then Germany equalised in the 89th minute through Florian Wirtz, which brought us to extra time, and Mikel Merino scored in the 119th minute of extra time to win the game for Spain. Spain ended the game with 10 men as well, after a second yellow card for Dani Carvajal in the latter stages. And in the other quarterfinal, yesterday, we saw France emerged victorious against Portugal on penalties, 0-0 after 120 minutes, and France certainly scoring all of their penalties in the shootout. João Felix, the only player to miss a penalty, as Portugal took 4 and France took 5 to seal victory by 5 penalties to 3. Ronaldo converting his penalty, but surely his international career alongside Pepe could be over. We will see whether they retire from international football. We know Ronaldo will not be playing any European Championships ever again. He admitted that himself, because it will be 4 years before the next one, and he would be 43, although I wouldn't put it past him. We never know. That is the way the bracket looks at the moment, and we will have that updated one for you after the final whistle a bit later on from our final game between Netherlands and Turkey, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff. Right, second half ready to get underway. The players back out on the field of play for this one. As you join us here in LFS, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. It would be greatly appreciated, and we thank each and every one of you that is watching and continuing to support us on the channel. We massively appreciate it. And don't forget to follow us on socials as well, as you saw in one of our trails at half time on X, Instagram and TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. Right, we're ready to get underway then. Switzerland attacking from left to right, England from right to left, both attacking the ends which their fans are at, and Switzerland will get us going for the second period. We're waiting for the whistle from the referee. As we get back on the way, Daniele Arsato gets us going once again. Our next 45 minutes could be crucial in this quarter-final. Or will it be the same as our previous two and head to extra time? We will certainly find out. At the moment, England already progressed after extra time against Slovakia in the round of 16. Actually came from behind in that game to win an extra time. After Ivan Schrentz's goal put England behind, Jude Bellingham levelled in the 95th minute for Harry Kane in the first minute of extra time. Scored the ultimate winner for the Three Lions. Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, England's only 2 scorers of the tournament so far. Both on 2 goals. And see how both teams perform in this second half. How interesting it will be. And here's Jude Bellingham down the left for England. Looking to lift it into the box, but blocked away from Harry Kane. Although that's not great from Dan and Doy there to give the ball away on the edge of his own box as Bellingham delivers. Saka was the threat. Got there ahead of him was Ibisher, although Saka's brought it down in the box, and the shot taken away by Ibisher. As England, though, off to a positive start in the second half. Mainu to Foden. Now to Saka. Again, Switzerland coming out a bit dazed in the second half, shall we say. Not convincing in their clearances there in the first minute or two. Convincing in their defending whatsoever. Walker down the right hand side. Foden now. Back to Saka. Saka try and link it up with Kane, but again the Swiss defence there to clear it away. No out ball though for them at the moment. Ezri Konsa picks up for England. Trippier down the left hand side for Declan Rice. There's a challenge in there from Cher, and Dan and Doyle will pick up the ball. There's Mbolo on the spin. And again, Tribe defenders dragged them with him, but he had no options either side of him there. Mbolo and England pick up the ball again. Not great from Switzerland again there. Here's Saka. Foden a bit further in. Again, couldn't weave his way through. Switzerland come away with the ball down the left hand side and ultimately challenged by Kyle Walker to win it back. Saka on the spin to avoid the challenges, but ultimately England will get the free kick out of that one. Konza. Stones to Bellingham. Just pinged forward by Kyle Walker. Switching it to Trippier. But too much for him to control as he heads into the box for Jan Sommer to gather for Switzerland. That was a slight touch there by Kyle Walker on Ruben Vargas. Sends the Swiss player to the ground. And we'll get Switzerland the free kick. To see it again, whether he just nipped in or... There's not much in that again. Ruben Vargas still in pain. He's still down at the minute, so he must have felt something. Either that or he's getting an Oscar for his acting. I mean, I don't think that's a foul. That looks strange. It looked like Walker just took the ball off his toes, but I don't think he touched him in any case there. Well, Switzerland got the free kick anyway. Akanji. Share. Back it comes to Jan Sommer. Granit Xhaka. Dropping alongside the defence at the moment. Find Akanji, and out it comes to the left-hand side now for Abisher. Freuler. Back now to Manuel Akanji. Comes down the left-hand side now. Abisher. Xhaka. Comfortable defensively England, although that's a nice squeeze of a ball from Xhaka round the corner, and Bolo trying to hold off his man in the box and spun on the shot. A pretty tame effort straight towards Jordan Pickford. It is the first shot on target of the night, of the day, although that's not a good, that doesn't look good for England. Ezri Konsa's on the floor. See this again, what happens here. Konsa in the middle, battling with Braylon Bolo. Let's see it again. Bolo spinning round and Konsa trying to hold him off. Oh, might have hyperextended his knee there, Ezri Konsa. Just looked like as he stretched forward. And he just caught his knee. He's okay, he's back on his feet, but it'll be a painful one that for Ezri Konsa. It's the last thing England might need. Another losing of a centre back. Because the one that's suspended today, Merkur, he's been fantastic at the back, and Ezri Konsa not gone far wrong today. He's probably been faultless at the back for England, to be honest. One of the most impressive of the back three, I would say, so far. Ezri Konsa. The younger of the three, anyway. Here's Mainu. To Saka, looking to cut it back. Closed down again. The flag was up anyway against Bukayo Saka. Once again, that's a couple of times in the game they've been offside, England. Maybe just a bit eager there, Bukayo Saka, a bit too eager to get forward. It's another silly offside to give away. It's little simple things could go against England. That's their third offside of the game. But again, good threat from Mainu and Saka there. Linking up well. Sommer. Where it comes to Share. We'll knock it down the line. And Doy to get involved as Mbolo comes very deep. Dan and Doy picks up the loose ball, and ultimately Konsa was on the floor from Mbolo's challenge. And it will give England the free kick. I think Braylon Bolo has fed that line well today between being physical and being too physical. It's just been treaded that fine line well, so he hasn't so far. Mbolo can be a great asset though up front, a physical centre forward. Well, England don't look fazed by it at this moment in time. Walker. Oh, just about got his pass to Saka. It's a high press there from Switzerland, almost worked. Ruben Vargas was close. Again, that slow pass that let England down there almost again as that long ball through it, or that long throw in. Dispossesses England as the run in behind here from Vargas. Flag stayed down. Freuler. Abisher to Xhaka. Who's on his heels there, Xhaka. Caught in possession by Foden. Again, that's what I mean. Just a bit slow, both teams. It's not zipping it around. The pace of the game is quite slow. I mean, it was a good press by Foden, but Xhaka took far too much time. Very slow. England get another throw in out of it. Walker. Oh, just a bit luckily there. The referee will pull the throw in back. Stop the game for some reason. He wants England to take it from a bit deeper. Yeah. Throw in for Walker to take again. Will he go for the same technique? He's taking his time, whatever he's doing. Delaying. Well, he gets the ball forward to Harry Kane, but Kane beating off the ball. And he was offside, I feel there. That was given. The referee again in the way. This game very stop-start of this second half. And Switzerland tried to take the free kick quickly. And it come bouncing back off Daniele Orsato. So a uncontested drop ball will be given to Switzerland here. Freuler. Xhaka. Across to Cher. Darted into Mbolo again. Laid it off to Xhaka. Out to Rodriguez. He's breaking forward as he whips across in, and Mbolo was in the middle, but ultimately Jordan Pickford on the end of it. That gathers for England. Lovely ball by Rodriguez. Curling effort, and Mbolo was in the mix, but Konsa did enough to put him off, and Pickford gathered. That's better from Switzerland. That's more of what we've seen in previous games. Those early crosses from wide, getting the likes of Rodriguez further up the pitch in the wide areas to offer that attacking threat for Switzerland. Maybe just kind of re-emphasise that at half-time here at Yakin. As Konsa again on the floor. Wins another free kick for England. Both head coaches encouraging their sides from the sidelines. Just over 12 minutes gone in the second half. Still goalless, and Switzerland with the only shot on target so far, but not a threatening one for Jordan Pickford, let's say. Here's Bellingham. Rice has to turn back as he was pressed out there. Konsa. Stones. Step up. Finds Foden. He will left it forward for Trippier, who heads it on, but not in the direction of Harry Kane as Akanji heads clear. And that was not convincing at all from Fabian Rieder. Goes out for the England throw. Referee again not happy of where they were taking that throw in from England. Ask them to take it again. Trippier this time will take. Back it comes to Rice. Swings out to the right hand side. Walker, nice Saka. A bit of space on this right hand side. Saka back to Walker. Again, hesitating in his decision making. Back to Saka. Lifts it into the box. Headed away by Xhaka. It comes out to Mbolo. was trying to hold on, and ultimately the ball didn't stick. But that's a lovely ball over the top by Switzerland, and Ndoye in a straight race with Konza. Ndoye tries to flick it round the back. Kept alive. Now there by Reader. Here's Dan Ndoye as Switzerland get bodies up the field. It's Reader. Hits it off Rice. Switzerland corner. Which gets that sea of red behind that goal, cheering and clapping on. A Swiss corner. Which is, if I'm not mistaken, their first of the game. Chance to get players with height up the field. It was a darting long ball by Akanji into the space. Spotted the run of Ndoye. He beat past Konza. Chop back, give it in behind for Reader. And ultimately winning the corner out of that off Rice. Good threat, good running by Switzerland in the wide areas again. It's better play. They have this corner. Vargas is over to take. Initially Fabian Reader was there, but Vargas the one holding the ball at the moment. Reader is the short option if he wants to take it, Ruben Vargas, but I'd suggest him to deliver this. Let's see. Vargas will go short. Back to Reader. All the way across to Rodriguez, who lifts it back into the box and headed behind by Saka. It will be another Swiss corner. Saka heading behind. Yeah, just onside Vargas would have been there if that ball had got to him. And now Fabian Reader will take this corner. Vargas the option now, so they just swapped places, but let's see how they do on this one. Reader to deliver. Will whip it in near post. Easily cleared away by Bellingham it was. Throw in to Switzerland again. Not really threatening from those corners at all, Switzerland, really, on those moments. Wasn't the best of deliveries from Fabian Reader, to be honest. Didn't even reach the near post. Reader knocked out a play there for a throw in. Xhaka to take. Flicked on by Reader. Out it comes to Ndoye on the right. Dragging Konza with him, and Trippier there in cover. But breaking away does Vargas. Vargas with a cutback, and Mbolo was the target. Cleared away by Walker. Not convincingly though. That one is further cleared by Saka now. Yes. Switzerland have the ball back with Cher. Now Vargas. Into the path of Fröhler. And it comes with Reader. And now Vargas on the right hand side to deliver. Took a deflection. Not cleared away. Cher tried to take it down in the box. But England just about scramble it away. Better play from Switzerland now. England a bit of defending to do. They've done it well for the majority of their games so far. Remo Fröhler. Fabian Cher. To Ndoye. Into the half space for Fröhler. Out wide it comes to Vargas. Certainly taking up that right wing position at the moment. Along with Ndoye. Vargas. Now Dan Ndoye. Back it comes to Cher. Xhaka back to Cher. Feeds it through to Ndoye. Ndoye on the edge of the box trying to eke a bit of space. Squares it across to Rodriguez. Now to the left for Aebischer. Across the defence, across the midfield, Aebischer gives the ball away, but he rescues it again. Although it will be a free kick to England. Harry Kane fouled in the process of trying to win that ball back, Michel Aebischer. It's a lazy pass across the edge of the box, and Kobbie Mainoo just stepped out to carry the ball away. And then the late challenge from Aebischer on Harry Kane gets England the free kick. And they're going to make a double change now, Switzerland. So Fabian Reeder's going to make way. He's going to be one of those changes. And the other is going to be Ruben Vargas. And the changes incoming then for the Swiss. Vargas and Reeder off. And replacing them will be Sylvain Widmer and Steven Zuber. So Zuber and Widmer on, replacing Reeder and Vargas. So ultimately I'd say Dan and Doy would be the outright right winger. He's been swapping that with Fabian Reeder in the game. So he'd be taking up that role, and Bolo on through the middle, Zuber on the left hand side, and Widmer as right wing back for Switzerland. It's a slight tweak, nothing major, nothing in terms of tactics, just personnel switches really, continuing that same system. Let's see what difference it can make for Switzerland in the final third. 64 minutes gone. Still 0-0 here in Dusseldorf as Foden feeds through the lines. Trippier flicks it onto Foden. Looks to cut it back into the box. And Bellingham was in there. It will be a England corner. Zuber was in the cover. And it deemed to have come off a Swiss player in the box there. See it again. Cut back from Foden. Let's see it again. I can't see from that angle. Oh, he changed his decision there, the referee. And he's right too, because it was never a corner. It's Bellingham that had the last touch. And ultimately they get it right, the officials. Initially give a corner, but swap that out for a goal kick. Don't know what prompted them to change their mind, but they did. And they got the right decision in the end. Just 25 minutes plus additional time to go. And neither side have broken the deadlock here in Dusseldorf. The moment Switzerland, the only shot on target of the game. But England having more of the attempts. It's in the balance remains here in Dusseldorf. Fabian shared a break forward now. And to create that overload as Ndoye was threatening. Widmer helps out. Finds Cher again. Now infield to Xhaka. Out to the left hand side for Rodriguez. Look at the lift it into the box, and Konza was up there but still not away. Stones has half clears, and the shot is over the bar by Michel Abischer. Great pressure from Switzerland again. Getting those early crosses in from the wide areas. It's Rodriguez again. Lifting into the box. Konza heads into the air, and Bolo threatening Stones. Stones half clears it, and Abischer's effort on the volley goes swinging over the bar, but it's a bit better from Switzerland again. Certainly getting those overloads. We didn't see very much of either Rodriguez or Cher, the part of a back three. We've seen them stride forward in previous games and create that overload in the wide areas for Switzerland. Didn't see very much of that in the first half, but starting to see it unfold in the second, and maybe getting a bit of joy out of it, Switzerland, at this moment in time. As there's a Swiss player on the floor in Manuel Akanji, and Harry Kane, the one deemed to have fouled him. As Switzerland get a free kick, and Harry Kane gets a yellow card. I mean, I don't think there's much in that. Again, a bit soft, maybe. I mean, probably an elbow in the face, but it's not an accident, not purposeful. Harry Kane a bit bemused by that one, and he gets a yellow card. It's his first of the tournament, so not a worry for England. So Akanji, who won the free kick, will take it. Just short to Xhaka. What will England do from the bench? Is that going to be something they're going to focus on? I would suggest maybe getting a runner in behind from up front. I'm not telling you to bring Harry Kane off, but maybe Ollie Watkins could be a threat in behind for England. Something they need a bit of pace to go alongside. There's Zuber to Ndoye. For Switzerland in the box, Ndoye. Look at the edge his way through, but ultimately closed down by a backtracking Harry Kane. And ultimately dropped very deep and gets the ball up the field a bit with Foden. Mainu now. Saka. Mainu couldn't carry the ball with him as Switzerland. High press again, winning the ball. Certainly in their better spell now, Switzerland, in this moment. England struggling to get away from their own half, or out of their own half at this moment in time. Akanji. Scher. Out wide it comes to Widmer. Back in field to Fabian Scher. Xhaka. Akanji. England certainly compact at this moment in time. Maybe dropped a slight bit. Not much, but just dropped a slight bit deeper. Maybe inviting the pressure from Switzerland, which could be dangerous. A dangerous game to play. But if you do win it, you've got bursting pace on the counter. Kanji. Wide to Rodriguez. Now down the line to Ndoye. Off the left-hand side. Look at the squeeze his way through, but Saka helping out defensively, getting the ball away. And Foden winning England the throw. Patient in that England. Didn't panic, didn't rush it. And got their throw in to try and help them up the field now. Dan Ndoye held off well by Walker, and then Saka stepping in to help out. Strong physical defending from England there. Certainly necessary. Let's get the ball up the field even further now with Harry Kane getting his retribution against Manuel Akanji and winning a free kick for himself. As now the ball's fed out to Kieran Trippier, to Bellingham. Back to Trippier. Many options for Kieran Trippier other than the pass back to Rice. Trippier. Back to Rice. Stones will carry it forward here into space. Mainu. Now Foden, who will look to lift it just over the head of Harry Kane and not left it far enough for Saka to pick up. As Zuber gets back to try and help out defensively for Switzerland, but Saka tried to cross it. Xhaka in the way. And now Zuber can try and carry Switzerland forward into the path of Mbolo. Battling one-on-one with Walker. And Walker coming out on top, surely. And winning the throw-in for England. But with just under 20 minutes to go, Gareth Southgate not looking towards his bench just yet. Try and change things. It's been another kind of criticism thrown at Gareth Southgate. He takes too long to make changes, and when he does make them, there's not enough time for them to impact the game. Remember, extra time and penalties if the game is level after 90 minutes. So maybe that could be in his thinking. And if the game is level, he might want to bring his players on a bit later. Although, that's again a defeatist mentality if that was the case, because you're going out to win the game in 90 minutes, not get a 0-0 draw. Rice. Trippier. Nice ball down the line to Bellingham. Gets to the byline. Xhaka across with him. Bellingham looking to try and lift it. Again, Xhaka in the way, and Bellingham involved there with a high boot. Xhaka throws himself to the floor. I got away with that one. Xhaka and Bellingham there. He's having a conversation. Just say it again. I mean, there's nothing in that. That's iconic. There's nothing in that at all. Bellingham gets the ball and Xhaka stoops a bit low. I mean, Switzerland do get the free kick, but I think he's a bit lucky there, Granit Xhaka. I think that's another moment where a lot of players exploit to get cheap free kicks, is that high boot situation. But they do get the free kick anyway, Switzerland. I think they've been slightly the better team in the second half, though. Much more progressive. England, again, just stumbling a slight bit. They had a promising first half, and I said that I was slightly disappointed with Switzerland's performance in the first half, that England did edge it. We're probably the better of the sides. Switzerland have upped their game and been much more progressive in the second half, and the pendulum has swung the opposite direction. Switzerland have looked the most threatening now. And Doy to Abischer. Just over 15 minutes to go. England 0, Switzerland 0 in Dusseldorf, in the Merkur-Spiel Arena. I love saying that name, if you had not already guessed. Xhaka. Cross to Akanji as Switzerland pushing very high and England sitting very compacted and deep. Cher round the corner. Nice ball into the path of Ndoye all the way across, and Mbolo to tap it in at the back post. And England sitting so deep that Switzerland play around them. And the ball to the back post for Breel Mbolo, the poacher, to tap it in and give Switzerland the lead in Dusseldorf. Again England behind, and again a rescue job needed. But is it too little too late for them this time? Switzerland ahead. See it again. They take their time, Switzerland, patient. England dropping deep, but they don't track the runner in behind. Dan Ndoye steps off his man. The reverse ball in behind by Cher. And Ndoye making the difference. Squares it across the 6-yard box. Takes a slight deflection off John Stones. And perfect onto the end of the foot of Breel Mbolo to just tap it in at the back post. No chance for Pickford. And Switzerland break the deadlock. And England's just now trying to react to this. But that is the initial problem. Too little too late. Reacting too late. And not being progressive and proactive in the game. Waiting for something to happen to change things. Waiting to going behind. And Switzerland ahead with Breel Mbolo, who said has struggled at times in the game. But the best strikers pop up in the box when they're needed at their very most. And Breel Mbolo stepped up there to give the Swiss the lead. Remember, they've never been in a Euros or an international tournament semi-final before. They could be on the verge of that here, unless England can do what they did against Slovakia and come from behind to rescue this. Said Switzerland were the more impressive, the more progressive and the much more threatening side. And England maybe had just stumbled. And that is showing out in the scoreline at the moment. Well, Mainu tries to flick it forward, but Sommer there together. It's now about Switzerland just holding on to this. Maybe learning from what Slovakia couldn't do in holding on. But the Swiss fans bouncing in the stands. The English fans, a lot more glum faces. Zuber. So now it's about Switzerland keeping their cool, their composure and their calm. Got vast experience in the team, one of which is Granit Xhaka, who wins them a throw-in. And they're going to be a triple change for England. One of those is going to be Kobbie Mainoo. He's going to come off for... And Kieran Trippier as well. Eze and Shaw coming on. And Cole Palmer will be the third change. And he's going to come on for Jude Bellingham. So Trippier, Bellingham and Mainoo off, all being replaced by Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier and Bellingham. Say it again. Bellingham looks a bit bemused. Well, Bellingham says it's not him. Is the board got the wrong number? Number 10 went up. I mean, what's happened? What's going on? Bellingham's certain that he's not coming off. I mean, there is 11 England players on the field. I was making sure there wasn't 12 there for a minute. Ezri Konsa was the one that came off. The number was wrong on the board. That was very confusing. That was a shambles, those substitutions. Anyway, England have made changes. Here comes Saka to try and impact the game initially. He's been on the field since the start. And another man there, as it's cleared away by Ibishir, that ball. I'll get confirmation of those changes because there was a whole mess up there. I can confirm those changes. Konsa, Trippier and Mainu off. And on for England, Shaw, Eze and the other Cole Palmer. So maybe a back four for England now? Possibly. We'll see. Palmer. Bellingham. To Rice. Lots of bodies up the field for England. 6 of them to be exact. Bellingham. Is it? Shaw is on the field. He's playing on that left-hand side. So England certainly confident that he's fit enough to play. Here's Saka. To strike it across and it's found a way in. Lovely goal by Bukayo Saka. Inside off the right-hand side. And it comes off the inside of the left post. What a lovely strike by Bukayo Saka. And England back level. That is a wonderful strike. That has levelled the game and got England back on terms. Out to the right-hand side. Fed by Rice. Saka taking his time. Steps on the inside and onto his left foot. Criminal from Switzerland defensively. But a lovely strike. Spinning in off the inside of the left post. And getting England back on terms. Saka to level it for England. England 1. Switzerland 1. We're on for a cracking last 10 minutes. Bukayo Saka stepping up. He's been England's most threatening player all day. And he's the one that makes the difference in the moment. And it's back to square one, really. Both sides find the net. Who will have the last say? And the game opening up a bit more now. The challenge there, clean by Stones. And England a bit of energy about them now. Here's Kane. To switch it. Lovely ball out to Saka. Had to take a second touch. Now Rice. Out to Luke Shaw. Palmer. Going to feed it for Luke Shaw. Shaw on the overlap. Shaw with a cutback. Away by Scher. And Ndoye can't get out as Eze was in the challenge, but Switzerland will get the throw in. And that goal certainly got the England fans up. Their glum faces turned into jumping smiles at the moment. Vidmer to take this throw in. And that's momentum. Switches. Bolo. All the way back to Vidmer again, under pressure. Has to hook that one out for the throw in. That's good pressure from England again. Saka becomes the third England player to score in the tournament. His first goal of the tournament so far. Bellingham and Kane the other two. Both still on the pitch. Here's Saka again on the right. Whip it in. In the box it comes. Kane with the shot blocked. Xhaka trying to guide Switzerland away. And Bolo again made it difficult, and he will get the throw in. Or the throw in, the free kick there. Braylon Bolo. The ball over the top. Oh, and Ndoye blocked off by Shaw there. It's good defending. Although Walker overheading that one. Just a bit wayward that time. We've certainly got a cracking end into this game. After pretty lacklustre for a lot of it. That Swiss goal opened us up a bit more with Mbolo giving Switzerland the lead, and then 5 minutes later, not long, literally about a minute after England made their substitutions, Bukayo Saka strides across from the from the right hand side, cuts in field, and whips one into the bottom left corner off the inside of the left post. 1-1. England might need the Manchester United effect to get a bit of energy in a game. We've seen at a point for Man United where they had to go behind to kind of energise themselves. It's been the same kind of idea for England. They've had to go behind to conjure something up once again. But it's all about now keeping the attentiveness, staying attacking England, and maybe push for a winner. Not getting content with the level game. The ball whipped in from Switzerland, and Bolo was the target. Headed away by Shaw that time. As Palmer gets his skates on. Was being held there by Sylvain Widmer, was Palmer. Will be a free kick and a yellow card for Widmer. England get the free kick. See it again. Yeah, slight pull on the right arm of Cole Palmer there. Yeah, there's foul. No questions about that one. Just over 5 minutes to go in Dusseldorf, alongside added time. If we are level at the end of it, we will be heading to extra time again, as we have in both previous quarterfinals. No one settled a result in 90 minutes as of yet. In the last 8, extra time has been needed in all the games so far. Will this be the same, or will we have a late winner for either of the two? Stones. Rice. Foden on the spin, finds Cole Palmer. Back to Shaw. Foden. Luke Shaw again. Just calmly passes it down the line to Foden. Shaw keeps the possession. That's better play from England. Is it? Foden back to Aberi. Rice. Down the right hand side now comes Saka. Cuts it back in to Bellingham. Jude Bellingham just took a step too much, although it's well won back by Rice. Bellingham again. Feeds in Saka. Saka across. The cross too much. Good pressing from Rice there to win it back initially when Bellingham lost it and kept England on the front foot. Ultimately Saka's cross, just a bit too much pace in it. Goes out for the throw-in on the far side. Certainly more energy about England, and a lot more attacking intent for them at this moment in time. Can they make it count, is the key question. Throw in for Switzerland. On the right, Widmer. Back to Scher, who hooks it up the field, but miscued that one. It will be another England throw. Wasteful opportunity that from Switzerland. Shaw to take this throw in. Back to Stones. Kyle Walker. Bellingham to Saka. Back to Bellingham. Saka to Foden. Out to the left hand side for Eze. Up against Widmer. Eze. Look at the step in field and tried to sneak it in the near post, but dragged it wide there. Aberi Eze. Decent effort, but not an accurate one. Good threat though. Committed the defender to think that he was going to go around the outside, and ended up chopping infield and had the space and time, but just snatched at the strike eventually, and just dragged wide. Fabian Schär getting a bit crazily there. He has to watch himself. He's on a yellow. Fabian Schär, both Swiss defenders on that side. Schär and Widmer under pressure and both on a yellow. As Palmer wins the free kick. This could be a big moment for England. Set piece, left hand side, just a minute of the 90 to go. And Phil Foden is over it. Lots of bodies up. All the Swiss players back. Could be another big moment later on for England. Phil Foden. Left-footed delivery. Whipped into the box. Sommer had to palm it away. Comfortably dealt with it. Saka. Back out Palmer to deliver. Kanji with a header clear. And Xhaka round the corner for Zuber. And now coming forward is Ndoye, waiting for the ball to find him. As he strides forward now, Dan Ndoye. Bodies with him. And Zuber and Mbolo. Ndoye goes himself. But that was a wild effort. Fired well over the bar. Another wasted chance, but another decent counter-attack from Switzerland. Well, of course, Switzerland have never got past the quarter-finals at any major tournament. This is their 5th major tournament quarter-final, and their 2nd in the European Championships after Euro 2020, but they've been eliminated 4 times. All 4 previous times at this stage. That's the most of any European nation that has featured in quarterfinals of major tournaments without ever participating in a semi-final. 3 added minutes at the end of the 90 then, and if they're going to win in normal time, Switzerland or England, they're going to have to do it within the next 2.5 minutes. Otherwise, we will play another 30 here in Dusseldorf. Xhaka, Zuber. Down the left-hand side it comes now. Rodriguez. To Granit Xhaka now. Through the lines. Rodriguez back to Abisher. Continuing to pop it around Switzerland. Akanji. Schär now. Looking to lift it or bring it low into the box. Cleared away by Stones. Switzerland throw. Here's Manuel Akanji. Schär to Freuler. Back to Akanji. 90 seconds to go. 4 extra time could be needed. Unless there is late drama here in Dusseldorf. Here's Granit Xhaka. The ball's spun out to the right hand side. Here's Schär to lift it into the box. And all the way through. It went all the way through and Zuber over the top. It was a lovely cross. Ndoye and Zuber were... Ndoye was one of them in there and Zuber had the shot last. I'll say it again. Whipped in by Schär. Lovely delivery. It was Mbolo that got his head to it. And then Zuber chests it past Saka. And he just tries to strike it. But skies it. Does Zuber. That's a big moment for Switzerland. Probably one of their last chances in normal time. Maybe a bit lucky England, but Switzerland not as accurate as they could have been. And Pickford to knock it long. Last couple of seconds of the 3 added minutes. As Kane flicks it on. And England trying to skip through, but given away. But that is it. No more time to play. Extra time will be coming once again in the quarterfinals. So far, none of the quarterfinals have been decided in 90 minutes. That shows how closely matched it is and how much it means for each team. Extra time after the 90 minutes, where it finished 1-1 between England and Switzerland. Extra time's on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Extra time on the way then. Here in Dusseldorf, where after 90 minutes it's finished 1-1 between England and Switzerland. At this moment in time, as it did between Spain and Germany yesterday, Switzerland took the lead on the 75th minute through Braylon Bolo, tapping in at the back post before Bukayo Saka, his trademark finish, stepping in from the right hand side onto his left foot and curling it in the far corner to level things for England in the 80th minute. And that's where we stand. Another 30 to go, 15 each half. I mean, I probably don't need to tell you now because we've seen it that many times in the tournament so far. But of course, extra time, 15 minutes each half. And if it's still level after that point, penalties will be the difference maker in the end. Let's see, as both sets of head coaches, both sets of teams receiving their team talks at the moment from their respective head coaches, Mirit Yakin and Gareth Southgate, to just try and get that edge out of their players, to get them over the line. England have done it before in extra time. I'm sure Gareth Southgate will be saying you can do it again, but Switzerland have progressed from penalties multiple times previously, especially at the last Euros. They progressed at the round of 16 through penalties at Euro 2020 and then went out on penalties at the quarter-final stage last time round. So, could be a bad omen, but could also be a good omen. Who knows? We'll see as they do the coin flip to see who will take the kick-off in extra time. Two captains, Granit Xhaka and Harry Kane. Coin has been flipped. Xhaka has the call. And I think Xhaka's asked for the kick-off, so we're ready to go then. And this is anybody's game, really. As it always is going into extra time. It's that tight that there is very little between the sides, if anything at all. And we have another 30 to come here. England didn't take their time in extra time in the first game. In the round of 16 game, they scored within the first minute to take the lead. Could the same story unfold again? Or will Switzerland break their duck at the quarterfinals of a major tournament eventually, at the 5th time of asking, and progress? We'll find out in the next half an hour or so, definitely. So we're almost ready to go. Of course, as it goes to extra time, both teams get an extra substitution, so 6 in total. Both sides have made a few subs. Switzerland just 2, England 3, so Switzerland have 4 subs left and England have 3 remaining as we enter into extra time. Bit of a delay for some reason. And it would be great if we could get going. There we are. We are going. And extra time underway for the 3rd successive time at a quarterfinals game at Euro 2024. Before this round, we'd only seen extra time, well, twice from the round of 16 and 1 penalty shootout. And we've seen it 3 times already in this round of the tournament. They always deliver excitement, though. especially a penalty shootout. Love a penalty shootout. I've been treated to 2 of them so far. 2 very impressive shootouts. I don't know what the idea, the feeling would be of either side, and whether they would benefit from shootouts. Both have had their fair share of mixed results from shootouts. As I said, Switzerland actually exited the tournament at this stage, at Euro 2020, from a penalty shootout. But they also won from a penalty shootout in the previous round in that one. England lost in the shootout in the final at Euro 2020 against Italy. And they have historic problems in shootouts, England, over the years, as has been very well documented. But it could come down. You know, when it goes to penalties, it's anybody's game. It's 50-50. It's on a flip of a coin. And often, those that take first win. Not always, though, as that was a decent effort from Fabian Schär. Wanted to go for the cross, ultimately ended up heading towards goal. Yeah, over the bar it goes. Decent from Fabian Schär there. You want to have confirmation of it being on the edge. So far, up until after the 90 minutes, we had both sides 9 shots for England, 8 for Switzerland. Switzerland 1 big chance in the game, which they scored, of course. Possession was 50-50. But the one thing it wasn't was Switzerland's XG, 1.19 to England's 0.49. They both had similar amounts of corners, 3 for England, 2 for Switzerland. So mainly, on the majority of the stats, it's been very even, which has been played out in-game on the score sheet anyway. It's all about finding that extra difference. As Spain did yesterday, they were headed into extra time 1-1, got that late winner in the 119th minute. That's red v white again in this matchup. Will white get its revenge, or will red rule supreme once more? Let's see. England have the possession on the left-hand side with Eze. Bellingham to Rice. Bellingham to Palmer. Back to Jude Bellingham. Back all the way it comes to Kyle Walker. Keep those votes coming in the poll in the chat there. Do keep your votes coming in if you haven't voted already. Do get involved. At the moment, 69% of the vote is predicting that England will get through to the semi-final. 31% say Switzerland. Keep those votes coming in. We'll keep it open until either side, if they do take a lead, or at least until the end of extra time, if we continue level. So it will be open for about a while yet, so do keep those votes coming in. Here's Cole Palmer. Breaking forward. Trying to ease his way through. He just slipped there, but does get the ball to Shaw. Now Rice. Switzerland, a lot of bodies back. If not all of them. 9 of them anyway. Here's Eze to lift it. Headed away by Rodriguez. Rice will shoot! And had to make a save there, Jan Sommer. That was a bullet of a strike from Declan Rice. Jan Sommer had to be called into action. Really good strike by Declan Rice. And he just palmed it round the post there, Jan Sommer. That was just sneaking in the right post. Jan Sommer making that big save. Would that be crucial? Abera Eze to take this corner. Right-footed delivery. Lifted in. Easily cleared away by Switzerland. Lots of red shirts in that box that glotted away. Although it's back with Saka. Eze down the right. Back with Foden. Now Walker. Rice. to Cole Palmer down the left. Gets to the byline. Vidmer in his way. And Freuler just to clear it out. Will be an England throw. Maybe a bit of energy about England now after that shot from Declan Rice. Will help them, certainly. A lot of touches at the moment in and around the area from England. Rice. Back to Walker. Switzerland eyeing up a change or two in a moment. I'll tell you about that very shortly when it does happen. As here's Cole Palmer trying to break through. Felt he was pushed there. The referee said no as Switzerland win it back fairly as the long ball forward. Trying to get Switzerland on the counter, but Walker. Oh, not a great touch. Just about dealt with it, did Jordan Pickford. That was not a convincing pass back there from Kyle Walker. Almost sold his team down the river with that one. That's a wasted pass by Palmer. Xhaka to pick it up. And Bolo to Xhaka. Now Rodriguez down the left. Infield to Abisher. Right wide it goes to Zuber. Zuber trying to lift it forward. It takes a deflection off Kane. Saka to hook it away, but straight into the path of Rodriguez, who will win the throw-in off Harry Kane there. Zuber. Well, Harry Kane goes down. He might have a free kick here for England. What's that about? Oh, he did kick him, did Rodriguez, to be fair. Just a bit late. Kane hooked it out for the throw, but he will win the free kick, Harry Kane. It's a good play. As the Swiss will make a change then. Dan and Doy's going to come off. And Dan and Doy will be replaced by Dennis Zakaria. So Zakaria on for Ndoye. So midfield change. Maybe just a bit more solidity for Switzerland in the middle. This is what Murat Yakin is eyeing up. Xhaka. Akanji. Here is Braylon Bolo. Xhaka. Across to Cher. Down the right is Zakaria. Back to Cher. Freuler. Passing it around at the moment, Switzerland. Not a desperate urgency at the moment. Just taking their time in possession, although that's too much. And a poor pass by Cher allows England to back on the ball. And now Eza try to break through. And he was caught there by Fabian Cher. And it will be a free kick to England. Cher really has to watch himself. He's on a yellow card. He's been on a yellow card for a while and continues to make those little challenges. Just leaves his right leg in, and that's just cynical. He's very lucky there. Has to really be careful. Referee's not going to let many of those past him without pulling out the second yellow. Didn't just on that occasion. Just keep him on the field for now. Shaw was going to take the free kick. Rice will now for England. Have to go backwards, England. Stones goes back to Jordan Pickford. 10 minutes gone. Third of the way through extra time. Still England 1, Switzerland 1. England with a great strike from Declan Rice, saved by Sommer. And earlier in the game, Fabian Cher had a shot over the bar in the first few minutes for Switzerland. So both have had half chances in the game in this extra time period so far. No breakthrough on either occasion just yet. Will we get a breakthrough in extra time? Not often we do, but when we do, it's crucial. Here's Saka. Down the right. Picked up the loose ball. Bodies in and around the box. Not many in the box. Bellingham to Foden. Foden will strike it. Easily blocked by Akanji. Club teammates, of course. At Man City, although that's not great from Switzerland. Zuber misses his kick and Saka picks it up. Lifts it into the box. Headed away, not fully cleared. Bellingham. Closed down again. We'll have another one. That will be easily gathered by Jan Sommer. Not convincing there from Switzerland, but Bellingham kept the pressure on well. Another good chance, decent chance for England. Zakaria. Back into midfield now for Switzerland. Freuler. Akanji. Through the lines to Zuber. Back to Xhaka. Now Akanji. Out to the right hand side of Widmer. 12 minutes of extra time gone. 3 of the first half to go. Xhaka. Akanji. Switzerland pushing very high up. Out to the right hand side. Zakaria. Back it comes though to Share. Xhaka. Again, tracking everywhere at the moment, Granit Xhaka. England holding on out of possession for the moment. Share back to Akanji. Now Xhaka again. Through the lines to Zuber on the spin, but fabulously well covered by Saka. And he will get the free kick off Zuber there. The Englishman. Bukayo Saka. We already have team news from our 8 o'clock game, which we will have live here on LFS. Netherlands against Turkey. Our final quarter-final. The winner of this one will play the winner of that one a bit later on. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. Rice goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford, who's miles out of his goal. And he will knock it long. Kanji wins the header, but the second ball won by Foden, although he couldn't hack it forward for Harry Kane. As Switzerland clear away again. Stones to Luke Shaw. And Eza has to go back again. Well, Rice will recover. Deep in his own half. Last minute of the 15 in the first half of extra time. England 1, Switzerland 1. Bellingham out to the left. To Shaw, back infield to Bellingham. Now Foden. Bellingham. Rice out to the left hand side to Luke Shaw now. Bellingham again. Shaw looking to lift it in behind. And Cher tracks it all the way back. And heads it back to his keeper, Jan Sommer, comfortably there. Fabian Cher. No added time at the end of the first half. So 15 up. And the first half comes to a close in extra time. And yet no change between the two teams. It still remains 1-1. And it's anybody's game still to come. The second half of extra time is on the way next. welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. The second half of extra time between England and Switzerland, where there's 1-1 at the minute, is on the way in a second or two. Don't forget, as I said, we've another, our final quarter-final of the tournament to come a bit later on. 8 o'clock kickoff as the Netherlands take on Turkey. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Team news is out, and we'll bring that to you when we are live for that one a bit later on in the German capital in Berlin. Right. Let's see. Will the next 15 minutes find a winner, or will a penalty shootout be needed to take either of these two to the semi-finals? Can England go one step closer, or will Switzerland make their own history in getting to their first ever international tournament semi-final? Let's see. As the second half of extra time is about to begin. England's fans singing in the stands, feeling buoyed by their side's end to the 90 minutes. A decently positive first half of extra time. As the referee gets us back underway then for the second half of extra time in Dusseldorf. Is there a winner in it? An England player down at the moment. Sees the game paused for the moment. Switzerland were in possession, but I'm trying to see who the player down is. It's Harry Kane. He's holding his head. Did again. He went up in a challenge with Xhaka, and they kind of clashed heads, the two there. Harry Kane is okay, and England will give the ball straight back to Switzerland. Of course, as Switzerland put the ball out to allow Harry Kane to be checked up by the referee. All in the name of fair play. Will there be a moment of magic to secure it for these two? One of these two, or will we slog it out until the penalty shootout, the ultimate decider of a knockout game, to decide the winner of this one? But two different outcomes in our two previous quarter-finals. Spain winning it at extra time, and Portugal and France going to penalties, with France emerging victorious. Which one will we see here in Dusseldorf? We will see. There was glimpses in that first half that both sides could possibly go for the winner. England probably the more threatening of the two on that front, but we'll see whether or not there will be that definitive winner in the game. Switzerland have it at the back here with Manuel Akanji. Xhaka. Right wide it goes to Abishur. Kept up by that left flank, although England win it back well, and dropping back well. Although Akanji picks up the long ball. Xhaka. Back to Manuel Akanji. Good control from Switzerland. It's a nice work from Rodriguez. Tried to find it to Zuber. Does find it to Zuber. The flag stayed down. Zuber with a cross. Widmer was up there. So was Eze. And Eze comes away with the ball. Good covering by Aberi Eze. And he's tried to play Kane in here. He did keep the ball in, but he's ended up in his own stand there, into the bench. Harry Kane. That could be not good at all. We'll see it again. I mean, Akanji just kind of shoving him out of the way. Harry Kane almost clattering into his manager there, and Gareth Southgate, who helps him not fall to the ground. And that looks not too comfortable for Harry Kane. He's on his feet again, but he's been battered and bruised in this one. Look who's coming on. Braylon Bolo is going to come off. And not Granit Xhaka, Xherdan Shaqiri is going to come on for Switzerland. So, Mbolo off, who's got Switzerland's only goal of the game. And Xherdan Shaqiri, the man who delivered the wonder goal against Scotland. They're hoping he can deliver a similar one here against another of the home nations in England. And England making a change of their own up front. Harry Kane is coming off. And Ivan Toney's coming on. Ivan Toney who come on against Slovakia in the round of 16. He's come on again as Kyle Walker gets the captain's armbands. So both sides making attacking changes, so both hinting at maybe wanting to win this in extra time as Xhaka gives the ball away poorly to Palmer. Palmer on the edge of the box. Foden, well charged down. Palmer back with it again. Eze lays it off to Rice. Back out wide to Palmer. Palmer to lift it in. And cleared away by Rodriguez in there. Back with Stones. Shaw. Foden. Back to Shaw. Shaw pressed back to his own goal to give it back to Jordan Pickford. Now just 10 minutes of extra time to go. Xherdan Shaqiri like a Duracell bunny running around there. He's got all the energy. Could be a penalty decision as well. He takes a good penalty to Xherdan Shaqiri. That could be another reason, although I would say Braylon Bolo would take a decent penalty, being a striker, but not all strikers are great penalty takers. You never know. I'm saying it as if we're definitely going to penalties. We'll see. We've still got 10 minutes of the extra time to go, but you kind of err on the side of maybe penalties is what the sides eye up in these situations. Each side will definitely get one more chance though, at least, to try and win it. Here's Rice, out to the left to Abere Eze. He's got Shaw on the overlap. Takes it himself though. Eze tried to cross it, well blocked, and Xhaka try and get Shaqiri on the ball and trying to get Switzerland up the field, and Shaqiri holds off his man and he tries to thread the ball through. He's completely underhit that one. Tried to measure one in behind, but he completely underhit the pass to Xherdan Shaqiri. There's still an England player down at the moment. Sakanai. Palmer trying to weave his way through. Closed down by Rodriguez. There's Bellingham on the floor. He's back to his feet now. Shaqiri maybe letting his side down a bit there. All the energy to run around. He did well to win the ball and get forward into a good area, but just couldn't deliver the ball in behind. Underhit it. What if it was a good pass? It would have been a good opportunity for Switzerland on the break. Zakaria to Akanji. Now Freuler. Out wide it comes to Widmer. Back to Remo Freuler. Clock continues to tick down. In extra time. Bellingham still in a slight bit of pain, holding his face of some sort for some reason, whatever was wrong. It's fine though to continue, not a worry. Here comes Abisher, and now Widmer across, and the ball just cleared away. Eze was there to hook it clear. It was Zakaria in the box. England holding on there a bit. Rodriguez now wide. Switzerland a bit buoyed by that chance. Abisher. Rodriguez on the left. Lifting the early cross in. Widmer left it. Schär will take it. And that will be swung over the bar. Should have learnt from his earlier effort there, Fabian Schär, not to be taking a shot on the volley at the back post. It was always rising there from Fabian Schär. Good early cross by Rodriguez. Widmer made himself the target, but just over his head, and ultimately away by Schär over the bar. Just seeing Shaqiri's chance again. That challenge on Bellingham that left Bellingham on the floor. It wasn't a foul. There's nothing really in it, to be honest. And England, maybe another change. Alexander Arnold might be coming on. Could be another penalty option. Alexander Arnold has taken penalties and shootouts before at club level. Most notably in finals, that is. FA Cup finals, League Cup final. And he will be coming on. And Phil Foden is going to be coming off. So Alexander Arnold on and Phil Foden off. So Trent Alexander-Arnold coming on with 6 minutes to go. And this, I mean, you never know, this could make a difference in extra time, never mind penalties. Alexander-Arnold on for Foden then, for England. Just over 5.5 minutes of extra time to go before a shootout will be necessary, where it will be nail-biting, it will be nerve-wracking. It will be on the knife edge as to who will progress. But for the moment, they still have it in their own hands, both teams in play at this moment in extra time. John Stones. Walker, back to Stones. England have a lot of bodies up the field. Looking to be targets. Rice spreads it out to Shaw on the left. Eze. Back across to Stones. Out to the right hand side now for Alexander Arnold. Walker. Back to Alexander Arnold. Trevella's at forward. Bellingham trying to squeeze it through, but closed down well by Switzerland again. As England have to get back as Shaqiri tries to feed it round the corner. Does find Zuber. That's a better ball by Sheridan Shaqiri. And now the switch pass, and the run is on. Vidmer looking to cross it into the box. Had a chance on a one-on-one with Pickford, but the ball just escaped Vidmer, which meant he had to carry himself wide to take the control. But the ball through. Very good ball by Zuber. And Vidmer winning Switzerland the corner off Bukayo Saka there. Stretched out a left leg, Saka. Corner for Switzerland. England committing that many forward, they almost got caught out at the back. That's the risks you take in extra time when you commit bodies up the field. Shaqiri to take the corner. As Switzerland are eyeing up another change after this. Shaqiri with a cross. Oh, it's hit the post with a crossbar or something. That corner, as it's cleared away by England. Not by very far though. As Walker fires it forward into Eze's path, who did he keep it in play? He's kept it in play, but he couldn't keep the possession. Shaqiri goes down under a challenge from Shaw. Free kick to Switzerland. 3 minutes of extra time to go. Let's see this corner again. Shaqiri delivers, and it comes off the kind of, yeah, right off the very corner of the post and the crossbar. He tried to catch out Jordan Pickford, did Shaqiri. They had a wry smile, the two of those. After that, almost caught them out. Double change incoming then for Switzerland. Michel Abischer is one of them, and Remo Freuler is the other. And those changes will be, if I can get the confirmation of them, Zeki Amdouni's one. I know that much. And the other is Vincent Sierro. So Sierro and Amdouni on to replace Michel Abischer and Remo Freuler. Extra bodies. Again, substitutions at this rate, more or less penalty substitutions, you would say. And if they were to progress, you don't want to waste the legs of your players too much. Although not much difference. A couple of minutes making. That's on the edge at the minute. 90 seconds or so to go before penalties will be needed. Switzerland have come the closest in the second half of extra time. England came closest in the first half of extra time. Here's a chance though. A shot from Amdouni. Saved by Pickford. Back out with Zuber. Switzerland certainly feeling it. Cross into the box. Takes a deflection. And the shot over the bar from Widmer. And England holding on. Most certainly here. Nice ball wide. Rodriguez tried to cross it. Came off the head of Alexander-Arnold, I think it was. And Widmer was at the back post. Skied it over the bar again. But the shot from Amdouni, initially, edge of the box. Left-footed strike. Been straight at Jordan Pickford, but he had to palm it away. As we're into the last 30 seconds. Switzerland certainly have had moments in this second half of extra time where they could have won it. Xhaka hooks it forward. They take no risk there, England, and Rice heading back to his keeper in Pickford. Will there be added time in extra time? Or will we call it there? As Pickford hits long. Let's see what the referee has to say about this one. As that's hooked forward by Rice. Flicked on. 120 up. One added minute at the end of the 120. One more minute to go. This will be the latest of all winners if it was to come. Saka. Down the left-hand side to Eze. Flick forward for Shaw. Shaw to lift it into the box. Tony was targeting. But cleared away by Switzerland. It's England that are pushing the last few seconds. Alexander-Arnold. Wide it goes. Bellingham on the run. Looks to cut it back. Up in the air it goes. Again by Switzerland. But back through Rice. Nice Saka. Saka tries to lift it in. Blocked by Zakaria. Told to push up now. Are Switzerland. Step away from their own box. Eze. Stones now. Will go forward. Hooks it up the field. Ivan Toney goes down in the box, but that's never going to be a penalty. There's nothing in that. And Switzerland will just see this one out. Zuber. Yeah, there's nothing in that. And that's it. 30 minutes up. And it's penalties again to decide our winner. Who will progress from this? It comes down to 5 spot kicks to decide it. We've already seen 2 previous penalty shootouts. Portugal progressing against Slovenia after their keeper saved all 3 penalties, and France progressing last night against Portugal when they scored all 5. Penalties on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live. Penalties again to decide our winner. England and Switzerland this time round. Who will progress? Who will be victorious? And who will make it to the last 4? England in the final at Euro 2020, beaten on penalties. Switzerland knocked out at the quarter-final stage of Euro 2020 on penalties. So now they're confident maybe going into this one, but Gareth Southgate has that folder ready, that sheet ready to tell who's taking the penalties and in what order they will be taking them. But it's certainly anybody's game. As we know, when watching a shootout, it's never a certainty. Nothing's ever comfortable. We'll wait and see who will take first, as both teams will have their little pep talks. Walker and Xhaka up for it. Go for the coin toss. Let's see what side it'll be taken and who's going first. Referee sorting out the toss now. So flipped up, and it will be at the England fans' end. That's not a certainty, though. That doesn't mean very much. And I'm trying to see who's going first, but we're not getting the shot of that. Let's see now. I have no idea who's going first. I'm guessing England. Well, let's not guess. It will be the penalties will be taken at the end where the England fans are. So let's see. Let's see what this means. Is Murat Yakin? We're just seeing a clip of Murat Yakin embracing his keeper. This is where their keeper of either team, in Jordan Pickford or Jan Sommer, could make themselves heroes. But also, the penalty takers can do the same. The England fans will have it at their end. But remember, last night, Portugal had it at the end of their fans and they went out. So, nothing's certain. It's Gareth Southgate embracing his goalkeeper before they both step up. Pickford and Sommer getting a quick talk from the referee about the situation, as is customary for a shootout. Let's see. It's anybody's game in a shootout. Let's see who's going first. Got a lot of good penalty takers, England. And it will be England who will be going first. And Cole Palmer, one of the coolest men from the spot, scored multiple times for Chelsea from the spot last season, including against his former team Manchester City, twice from the spot against City. And the last 7 penalties, Jan Sommer has saved 2 of his last 7 that he has faced. Cole Palmer to step up. As I said, one of the coolest from the spot. Can he give England the lead in the shootout to get them off to the perfect start? Stepping up is Cole Palmer. And scores. Sommer sent the wrong way. And Palmer cool again from the spot. Confidence flowing through the veins of Cole Palmer there. And he got off scene very quickly, did Cole Palmer. And now Switzerland will have to respond. And up for them is Manuel Akanji, former, the current City player, former teammate of Cole Palmer. And Jordan Pickford will be standing up against him. Let's see. Akanji, a leading figure in this Swiss side. Can he get them back level in the shootout after a penalty apiece? Pickford taking his time, trying to play every dark art and every trick in the books, but the referee is well watched on him. Manuel Akanji to step up, and it's a terrible penalty right at Jordan Pickford, who saves comfortably. That's a terrible penalty from Manuel Akanji. Dreadful. Tried to side foot it. Pickford guessed right, but even if he didn't guess right, he would have been getting right over it, because Manuel Akanji made an absolute mess of that. And Jude Bellingham up next for England, where they can take a 2-goal lead in the shootout. And they need their keeper now, do Switzerland, after they missed their first penalty. Jan Sommer against Jude Bellingham. Another smooth operator from the spot is Bellingham. Can he double England's lead? Bellingham stepping up. And slots it in. Waited for Sommer to move and just sent it in the other corner. And 2-0 to England after they've taken 2. Switzerland to respond with their second in a moment. And England look calm, composed from the penalties. Both penalties coolly taken by Palmer and Bellingham. And Akanji didn't look cool at all and missed his. And now Fabian Schär to step up for Switzerland. This is getting to real pressured territory for Fabian Schär. He missed the 5th and final one to be knocked out of Euro 2020. Can he score? He does. Calm from Fabian Schär. Waited for Pickford to dive and slotted it in the other corner. So still alive. 2 penalties apiece and England still lead by 2-1. But if England keeps scoring, there's nothing Switzerland can do about it. Similarly, like France against Portugal last night. Saka up against Jan Sommer for England. He missed his penalty at the Euros final 3 years ago. Is this his chance for revenge and retribution from the spot to give England the 2-goal lead again and to make it 3 from 3 from the spot? Bukayo Saka against Sommer. Saka does make it 3. Wonderfully taken penalty again. Not much power behind these penalties from England, but they're going in the right direction. Sommer maybe just diving a bit too quick, moving a bit too quick. And it's a lovely penalty by Saka. In step of his left boot and into the side netting. Comfortable. So 3 from 3 for England. This is another pressure penalty. Xherdan Shaqiri to take Switzerland's third, to get them back within 1 of England's. Xherdan Shaqiri sneaks it in. Pickford dived the right way, but he's got great quality from the spot, Shaqiri, and he showed us that there. Lovely penalty by Shaqiri. Left-footed, curling effort. Got a bit of height behind it as well. Ivan Toney, another cool man from the spot. He had one of the best penalty-taking records in the Premier League at Brentford. Had scored something like 17 in a row. He did miss one at some point, but he's cool from the spot. Ivan Toney, another great penalty taker to give England the 2-goal lead again in the shootout. Does find the nets. Lovely from Ivan Toney. And it's now must score for Switzerland. Otherwise, England will be going through. Score and they keep it alive, but Jan Sommer needs to make a save on England's 5th if Switzerland are to keep themselves alive. And Zeki Amdouni almost scored in extra time. Had a great shot at Jordan Pickford. That one Pickford came on top of. Can he get a bit of revenge on that? Or will Pickford do the same again? The Burnley forward up against the former Burnley man, the Everton keeper. Zeki Amdouni to keep Switzerland alive. Right down the middle. That takes confidence from Amdouni and does keep Switzerland alive. But if England score, they go through. If they don't, they've given Switzerland a second lease of life. Can they make it 5 from 5 to go into the last 4 Englands? Amdouni giving his keeper a hug. And it's Trent Alexander-Arnold to step up for England. He can be the hero to take them to the last 4. He can certainly hit one. And he scored before for Liverpool in finals from shootouts before. Can he send England to a semi-final? Alexander-Arnold stepping up and does score. England are through to the Euro 2024 semi-finals. 5 from 5 from the shootouts, and Alexander-Arnold's penalty sends them into the semis. England victorious from a shootout. Switzerland will pay the price for missing one of theirs, and that is the difference. England have progressed by the skin of their teeth. once again. But what a penalty by Alexander-Arnold. Sommer dived the wrong way. Really coolly taken. And England into the semi-finals. Final penalty score, England 5, Switzerland 3. And it's never easy, but nothing worth doing ever is easy. And after extra time and after penalties, it is England that are through to the semi-finals. There we are. All over. Ching. And thanks for your company. We'll be back for the next one as the Netherlands take on Turkey to find out who will face England in that last four. Switzerland falter again at the quarter-final stage for the 5th time at an international tournament, and once again on penalties. Netherlands-Turkey on the way next. Do stay with us. Thank you very much for watching.